Mics are recording. That's the only thing I didn't see.
Let's find out. Let's take a shot in the dark and see if they are. Hey, Cubase. You know what? I have. This is why we don't give him a mic.
Tactical microwave inbound.
Always thinks he's in some 12-year-old lobby in fucking Call of Duty or something.
Get shit up. Get shit up.
So I was gonna say something before Doobie started being rude. Cubase. What you could do is put a little red dot down here on the desktop icon, so I knew it was recording. That'd be great.
OBS figured it out.
However, this version of Cubase came out in like 2018 or something like that. So there's probably one now that does that. I bet.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. What?
Just fucking. Hey, we asked for Cubase.
He's a
Cubase
terrible host,
us,
man.
okay?
He's a bad host. All right,
I'm not even hosting. I'm a guest.
That's
fair.
You're in a host seat, sir.
That's true. Hostess.
307 Reacts. I'm Matt. That's Chris. That's Hostess. And on the screen in front of us, we have Last Night Goes Rock. It's a Morgan Wallen rock cover by No Resolve and Drew Jacobs. I'm really surprised I made it through that without stumbling over any of that. I just ran.
I most definitely would have ate shit on that.
So I was like, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know Morgan Wallen's music at all. I know the person. We just listened to the original, a little bit of it, so I could kind of get an idea of it. Apparently, this song's making its rounds on socials.
Making its rounds everywhere. I heard it in Old Chicago like a week ago.
No shit? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, no.
So, Drew Jacobs.
Yes.
The only experience that I have with him is he did a song with Ryan Upchurch way back in the day, like 7 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Super, super good. Loved him in the song, had a great voice. He looks completely different now than what he did 7 years ago. But I'm interested to see how his voice has developed and changed over the years. And you know, it's one thing going from country rap to now you're singing rock with No Resolve. So I'm
really
excited
interesting. For sure.
See how this sounds.
And we just saw No Resolve here in Casper like a month ago now or something like that, maybe a little
guys.
over. Then they put on a really good show too. It was actually really impressive, honestly. Like,
it was badass.
They are not messing around at all. Like they have a professional setup with like triggered lights, and they play to like backing tracks and stuff, so they have all the background little ambient vocal parts and stuff like that cut through the mix in their pauses and stuff like that. It was a legitimate production, man, when they came through. Like, it was definitely. I was not expecting that big of a production. They got up there and they were like, "We're here to fucking bring the house down," and they did it, man. They really did.
And they're just real dudes. I forget his name, but the lead singer,
most people are real dudes.
He sits there. He goes, "Is this an all ages show?" Good. He goes, fuck it. I just like to say fuck a lot. So he went ahead and said this whole thing. He's like, I'm kind of sick and tired of these motherfuckers talking shit on fucking Facebook, whatever the deal was. And he was like, we all come from a blue-collar background. I drive a truck during the day, the big brown ones. And he's like, yeah, man, I mean, so, like, we all do this as a side thing. And because of you guys, we're able to travel and, gave a big shout-out and thanks to the crowd.
That's the biggest deal, too. When you're in a local band and you get the privilege to be able to get support from different places, enough support, like from the venues and the crowd, that you're guaranteed some money and you're able to actually go to those places and, like, kind of do that for a living, Like, I don't think there's a whole lot of savings in that lifestyle as far as my experiences are concerned. But, I mean, if you stick, it's one of those things. If you stick at it long enough, and the tables start to turn in your direction, you can eventually make a life where you're making a savings out of it and doing that kind of stuff. And there's plenly of examples out there on the internet. I watch a bunch of guys that are like have been in bands before and talk about the proper ways to do that kind of stuff. So really cool to see them have the opportunity to do that and to be grateful for doing it. I always love seeing bands that are like super grateful for the support that they're getting. Yeah. Regardless of how many people are there, it's always important to shout out the crowd and like say thank you.
I love it during the show. He goes, "So what's better than one Resolve cover?" Or not one Resolve.
One Adele cover?
One Adele cover. He's like, how about two?
How about another Adele cover?
And then he does that one. He goes, and what's better than two?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They did like a handful of Adele songs, man. And they nailed them. They nailed all of them, man. They killed it. So with that, anything, Doobie? You got anything? All right.
No.
Let's just get into it, shall we? It's Last Night Goes Rock by No Resolve, the Morgan Wallen cover. Here we go. Let's go.
Last night we lit the
so that's Drew Jacobs.
I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met, but baby,
that's Drew Jacobs.
Something's telling me this ain't over
Okay, all right.
Last night I kissed your lips, make you grip the sheets with your fingertips. Last bottle of Jack, we split a fifth. Just talking about life, going sip for sip. Yeah, you know you love to fight, and I say shit I don't mean, but I'm still gonna wake up wanting you and me. I know that last
Hell yeah.
night we let the
Let's
lights
go.
get some. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. No way it was our last night. No way it was the.
Man, those
Chunky.
instrumentals.
Yeah,
chunky.
dude. Chunky boys, dude. It's like everything, dude. The guitar tone is great. I feel like in that vocal, did I hear a female harmony on the top of that? I
think so.
feel like there was a real light
Yeah.
female harmony on top of that.
God, where have I been? Like,
Did you not hear it?
I guess we
figured
better
you'd
go
hear it
back
better.
and
Yeah,
listen to
just
it.
there's a
over here
lot
being
of
a
low end in
sleepy
those
Joe. There's a lot
speakers,
of low end,
so
yeah.
that could be affecting it. But I want to go back a few and look.
I do like how they did the video. It's very reminiscent of the was it called She by Jelly Roll, where he's talking about
Yeah, where the girl's getting put into the ambulance or whatever.
It starts off with her in the ambulance, and then it like
plays take her out. And
the, it like plays the whole scenario in reverse.
The reverse thing, man, and I've seen that done before in videos, and I always like it when they do it.
It's very hard to execute. Like
artistically,
really good,
and they're doing the thing where they've got fast shots and then they've got slow motion shots too, and it's shot really well, man. It is hard to do the getting the reverse video, and like I imagine I've never had to edit one, but I imagine editing that is probably a nightmare because
God, it has to.
Everything's in reverse, dude. You literally have to edit in reverse,
and then you edit it in reverse, okay, and then you have to slow it down and speed it up in the right spots, and then some of the shit is not in reverse.
So it's in reverse already, and then you have to double time it, or change the timing on it to like speed it up, or like slow it down, or do your effects on. Dude, that's got to be an editing nightmare.
Props to your editor.
Props to the editor on it because it's a really cool concept, and way to go, guys, for going for it. Let's go back. High harmony.
Yeah, there's most
There's a high harmony in there.
I wonder who's doing that.
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering too.
No way it was the last night that we break up. I see your taillights in the dust. You call your mama, I call your bluff. In the middle of the night, pull it right back up. Yeah, my friends say let her go. Your friends say what the hell, I wouldn't trade your kind of love for nothing else. So baby, last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met, but baby, something's telling me.
Dude, that was a cool shot. Like the little. All right.
Get it.
All right, dude. I see you.
Man,
Dude, crazy.
that was crazy, man.
And what I was thinking too, again, about like the editing of this, at the very root of it, like finding these two people who can do this acting, and then having all the cameras in the room and everybody ready to shoot, because essentially once they take off on this scene, it's kind of like we're going to act into this thing and get into this big fight, and like it's up to the camera guys to get all the right shots and do all the right stuff. Like some of that you can get in B-roll, like the twisting the cap off, you can get that in B-roll, but it's
a throwing down of a glass.
you can get that in B-roll, but like for the most part, like the parts where they're fighting over the bottle and stuff like that, like they're like, that happens in the moment. So it's like kudos to the camera guys too for like getting in there and being able to get those shots too. dude. And even
shouts
then,
out to White Knuckle Films. Looks like
there we
those
go.
are the
Yeah,
guys who done it.
way to go, guys. You killed the edit on this, and that goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways because that's what you do after you say a saying like that, I guess. The mix is amazing as usual, dude.
Yeah.
And when these guys came to town, I remember being really, really surprised that the singer was just there for every song.
Yeah.
Like he didn't miss. He really didn't miss.
And you know, me and Pappy D were talking about this, how hearing him live, because after we saw him, Pappy D saw him in Houston like a week later, or something like that,
days later.
2 weeks later, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, like normally you expect it to sound different than the recorded."
Yep.
And it does, but you didn't lose any quality.
Right.
Like normally you lose a little bit of quality, but you like seeing them live, you lose zero quality.
No, man.
Like,
That's
it's
usually
insane.
the mark of a really good band.
Yeah, for sure. Like it was when we saw them live, it was one of those things where if you had filtering earplugs where they filter out certain frequencies and you got rid of all the low end and some of the mid and like kind of tried to EQ it to like their album, it would sound exactly the same coming out of the speakers. Like if you took away the big sub frequency shit from the big monitors, they're playing their album basically.
It looks like they did another Broadway Girls with Drew Jacobs. I wonder if they got together. Let's see how recently that came out.
Let's take a look, y'all.
Let's take a look.
Take a look, y'all.
Aw.
Can't get me on the copyright on that one, boys. Sorry. This was 2022, a year ago.
Damn. Okay.
Yep, a little over a year ago.
Hell yeah.
So there's something we can get into also.
I mean that makes sense because about a year ago we was talking about Upchurch and Chase Matthews cover that whole thing and the whole way that shenanigans went down.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
That was
that's
wild.
right. Yeah. Dude, what a crazy thing too. That's I forget about that. I forget about that story also. That's also going on in Church's life.
And what's so wild is that was a year ago.
That was already a year ago, dude.
And how much shit has gone on since then, man?
It feels like it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy how life moves on sometimes.
Yeah, man.
God.
It's nuts.
Yeah, but Drew Jacobs, man, he has bulked up since the last time I saw him.
Yeah, there you go.
He is a stout man.
Yeah,
He
dude.
did not look near that.
I've been working
stout.
out.
Yeah.
I noticed
his
they had all
vocals were good,
they
too.
had all those Titan lights like up on the
Yeah.
wall behind him and like in the little rows and
Yeah.
stuff, dude. That's the kind of
was
stuff.
sick.
That's the kind of stuff.
It's
like
simple.
so simple.
Yeah.
I know those kits are expensive, but they're way expensive. But as a band, if you go in on an investment like that together,
And you don't have to buy the expensive.
You don't
ones
have
as
to
a
buy
band.
Titan ones. Buy an offshoot
Yeah.
brand. They sell the same kits that are like $1,000, and you get like 6 or 8 lights and the
Yeah.
controller. It's like, and if 5 of you guys can't come up with $1,000, it's like, well maybe maybe you shouldn't be in the band. But like, it costs money to get your thing going, right?
It
But
does.
like, once you have a set of those lights, you can bring those with you anywhere, and you can choreograph them to your set. So if you play the same set 5 nights in a month or whatever, or in a tour.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria.
You can literally plug that shit into your laptop, plug your laptop into the mains, and it choreographs to your set. Like now your lights are set for every single night that you play, and there's no they're super quick, man. So I just little things like that. I noticed those little nuances, and I'm like, that's what sets you apart, man.
Yeah.
Little things that set you apart. That when you get there, the other bands are like, oh shit, we don't have those.
Shit, dude, we should get some.
You guys
we're
looked
not
really
that
good.
cool.
You guys looked really good up there, and it's like we didn't actually, but you thought we did because we put a lot of
the
shiny
lighting
stuff.
looks
Yeah,
good,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was amazing.
Quick, put a shiny bright thing on the stage.
Literally.
It'll distract them.
Literally, dude. That's and to be honest, that's kind of the secret of it too. You know,
Yeah.
people are distracted by your light show. They're not paying as much attention to you missing notes, or maybe you went flat on a note or something like that. If there's a big shiny light, going with the beat, people aren't as keen to notice that maybe you missed a note here and there.
Yeah.
It's all about distraction. It's all about
It
keeping
is.
people entertained.
Dazzle
Speaking
them
of-
with bullshit.
That's
Speaking
right.
of distractions, I really just all I heard during that whole song was just that fucking Chainsmokers song. I think it's something like this or something like that is the name of the song.
I know what
but
you're
I know
talking
it is a
about.
Chainsmokers song, and that's all that I could hear the
Okay.
entirety of that song.
All right.
Yeah, we'll look it up once we turn the camera off.
Yeah.
I know exactly because there's a guy who does a cover of it, and it's like kind of a punk rock cover of it that is so fucking good. Anyway, but yeah, I give that a 5 out of 5. Like the boys in No Resolve killing it. Drew Jacobs, it's good to see you back in it again. I'm sure you've been doing music ever since. It's just been out of my radar for some reason.
These guys are working super hard, man. They're putting out videos. They're going on tour. And I've seen the way they set up their merch at every show, and like they
meet everybody.
Dude, they show up early to make sure their set sounds good. They make sure everything's in order. They've got the professional layout, man. They're doing it. So I'm
and
super
they
proud
have
of that.
confirmed that Casper is their favorite city. Okay, to come play.
We set the bar high out here in Casper, okay? All right, that's what we do. So, guess you got to come to Casper for shows.
I guess whatever gets you going, guys.
I don't know. It was a pretty rowdy crowd, though. You know,
It was.
They
It was a good.
They had a good crowd
show.
that night. So,
but anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode as much as we did, be sure to leave a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, click the bell, become part of the notification gang. And with that, we'll see y'all next time. Ow.
bah! That was like perfect timing with me grabbing the camera. I think that worked out.